The future is not stories of old. We teach a light of things that make voices be heard. Every question counts, every single word. Evening light breaking, people tuning in. Different voices calling, let the talk begin. From corruption talk to the people them cry. Asking real questions like why? Community voices, youth them rising strong. Mama them calling, saying things been wrong. We need solution, not empty talk. Time to fix the system, time to take a walk. No fear, no favor, we speaking it clear. The truth might be bitter, but the people must hear. From county to county, the message goes spread. Better Liberia, that's the road ahead. Face the issue, no hiding again. Truth on the airwaves, calling us citizens. From Liberia to the villages far, we're speaking the truth, no matter who you are. Face the issue, stand up, people. The future is now, not stories of old. We teach our light on the radio, making voices be heard. Every question counts, every single word. Politicians talk, but the people want proof. No more empty promise, we demand the truth. Every patient on, yeah, jobs for the youth. Let the leaders answer, let them show the truth. From the 15 counties, every citizen matter, no one escape. It's now we country, we all gotta say, face the issues now, no delay. Talk your mind, stand your ground. Let the truth come out loud, make it shake the town. Face the issues, no more silence. We bury our rising, we're making it proud. Colin, speak up, your voice matters. This is more than a show. It's a movement.
And the government need to really invest. The people like you that get the type of structure, they come say even they could just be getting you $1 million for the budget year. Every year they give you $1 million and you impact a lot of.
If I were president of this country, I should God show you his wonder. You're not believing. We told Joshua for what? You're not footballer.
Yeah.
A football the very country. A football bring medicine in the head.
No.
Yeah, we told Ellen Johnson because she's from Harvard University.
Yeah.
What would the book do for you? No passion for development. Then we move Joshua, we put the millions men in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Connections there, you not get it.
You have no connection.
Yeah. Just say that Doma, all kind of things that just happen here. No, I'm sure no he no tea.
When he was 12 years older, Ellen did not want him to become president. So Ellen did not introduce him to many leaders. Ellen was doing her thing on her own. She was traveling from country to country and kept a man in the garage for 12 years, according to Boyka himself.
Yes.
That means he was not empowered to meet any leader. When the African leader themselves need support from the West.
Yeah.
All African leaders need support from the West.
Yeah.
No African leader will help another African leader with money for development.
Yeah.
In the West.
Yeah.
It does not have that contact. The standards got a trap for Boyka.
Okay.
Because when we have wrote, the Senate did a comprehensive report of their findings and attached the Supreme Court ruling and the amnesty law and everything. and the position statement for those commissioners who decided from body to where. They said the way forward is a Panama House discussion for peace. Then when Boyka come now, he is deceived by coming there, by the Dillon there, Yombi there, and he now where he's just thinking all kind of way Boyka, all kind of thing. He want to go after people. Then, you know, the CDC still control the lower house, the upper house.
Mm-hmm.
So they went some kind of way, some kind of thing they did for the teaching. They did a resolution that passed because of money crossing.
Yeah.
Then they sent it to the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Then something happened. Wow! All of them almost signed to Yombi house. Then they brought it that Tuesday morning. They didn't tell me they had it for me. Oh! Then when I heard what was happening, it was remain 2 persons to sign. That was me, that was Barney, Jim Barney. Now when I went to Kun, I said, what is going on? You were here when we had sent paper, and you were here with our own leadership, and we sent the report with all documents, legal documents, to guide where. Then Boyka benefited from the 2010 decision by the Supreme Court to be involved in the election in 2011 because he was not wrong with Ellen.
You're right.
He benefited.
You're right.
Then after serving our Bible for 12 years now, he's now president now. We finish campaign for that kind of old man, then he wants to persecute us. You guys going to persecute us? So what is going on with Kun? Then Kun said, well, what I will do for you is to help you with lawyer. Your partner said, go look for lawyer. It was from Kun offered my own son offered that I went and signed a resolution. I have many things that why y'all did this. You know what they told me?
No.
Resolution is not a law. So signing the resolution, I mean, we agree. Bring it now. When Boyka send a bill, they will not put all the law they put in now and back it.
Oh, okay. That was a smart move.
I said correct move.
Yeah. Just first of all, I apologize to you for the tension we created a few times, especially almost creating embarrassment for this country. As they relate to the speaker, the embarrassment we created to the government that got everybody confused, want to apologize. But let me tell you why it happened. There is always a reason for these things. There's a common practice and the House of Representatives, even the entire legislature. Whenever you go through the first round of election, we await the second round to determine the speaker. And the issues of consensus, we await the second round to determine the speaker. We believe that whenever a speaker is the party of the government, it makes our work easier. There will be not too much confrontation. The tension we created this few days, immediately from the whoever I call it, who said that tradition to be changed. If you remember in the 54, one was Chimba, but then the speaker, if everybody have one member, then CDC did. But the fact that Baba Chimba was a sedition, and moreover, his party won the presidency, His Excellency the former President George Biden, we decided to give the right to Baba Chimba. There was no contention. Normally, the president takes the speaker and the deputy fought in the opposition to balance the house. But under our regime, the 55th legislature, there were people who felt it was part of the law. In terms of following the tradition. After we won the election, our president was waiting for the second round. Fortunately for all Unity Party in Bright Victoria, we called for a meeting and we told our fellow lawmakers. And this time around, it is for Unity Party. They said, no way. It can't happen. You gotta get money more than you. I know more than you. I'm more sophisticated more than you. It can't happen. We want to take this. It was on that birthday that we won the election. We lost our top vote. I'd like to tell you this because I apologize for the tension created by us. But more, there was a reason. It was on that basis that we felt if our government we have an opposition speaker, it will suppress the substance of the referendum. And even that to you, no matter how you feel. It was on that basis that today we made victorious because we know that the House is to have a speaker
Our 2025 budget will determine his clear vision for the country. Okay, so it also includes the dividend on some of these crowds. For instance, I know it can be argued understandably that the overpower bridge that the Chinese government is about to build and the road from Kennedy Boulevard to 12th Street, they were all in the Puebla, that's true. But it was blocked in the Puebla. The President Bouaca's visit to China, reassuring China that when we are taking action on the global stage, we take it with our own interest first as a country, not to please any other person before Liberia's interest, and then people fighting, then we join inside and vote.
Just a final question.
Yeah. So you see, he visited to the FOCA, to the China Africa Forum, has now got China excited with the week of the new commitment to come do this project. They are in town already. You call the Minister of Public Policy, will tell you the Chinese government don't waste time when they say they want to do something. But when you step on their interest, then you're in problem with them. Now, anytime we want to do anything on the global stage, the first question we should be asking, what's in it for us as a country and people? And if what's in it for us is good as a country and people, if other countries benefit from the trickle-down effect of our vote, okay. But we must never again vote on something that will hurt ourselves as a country and people.
Let me just first of all apologize to you for the tension we created a few times, especially almost creating embarrassment for this country. As it relates to the speaker, the embarrassment we created for the government that got everybody confused, want to apologize. But let me tell you why it happened. There is always a reason for these things. There's some common practice, and also even the entire legislature. Whenever you go to the first round of election, we await the second round to determine the speaker. And the issues of consensus, we await the second round to determine the speaker. We believe that whenever a speaker is the party of the government, it makes our work easier. There will be not too much confrontation. The tension we created this few days emanated from the who fed that tradition to be changed. If you remember in the 54, one was Chima, but then the speaker, they didn't have one member, the CDC did. But the fact that Baba Chima was a seditious, and moreover, his party won the presidency, his excellent the former President George Biden, we decided to give the right to Baba Chima. There was no contention. Normally, the president takes the speaker and the deputy fought in the opposition to balance the house. But under our regime, the 55th legislature, there were people who felt it was part of the law. Instead of following the tradition. After we won the election, our president was waiting for the second round. Fortunately for all Unity Party in Grand Victoria, we called for a meeting and we told our fellow lawmakers. And this time around, they was Unity Party. They said, no way, it can't happen. You guys get money more than you. I know more than you. I'm more sophisticated more than you. It can't happen. We want to take this. It was on that basis that when we win the election, we lost our top vote. I'd like to tell you this because I apologize for the tension created by us. But more, there was a reason. It was on that basis that we felt if our government we have an opposition speaker, it will suppress the success of the referendum. I'll be honest with you, no matter how you feel. It was on that basis that today we might be victorious because we know the house to have a speaker.
Nigeria is in trouble. But I tell you this, I still repeat, if the president refuses to change, then the government is in trouble. The government, if you finish this government, let's thank God. Because as from next year, it's said to be fluctuating. And all the people that is in the government, they are liars. All of them. They don't know why they are there. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know the reason of staying in that system. They are just pushing the vehicle like this. They don't know where they don't know where it's going. So the forefathers of Liberia, they are in pains. It's very regrettable. Even the former president, Syphilis, is even regret having this person as a president. So that is just it. They believe that Dr. Weah is too much for Liberia. That is the man who have brought transformation to Liberia. That is the man who have turned Liberia to mini London or mini US. And he would have done it in second term. They didn't understand. They are angry with him. They believe that he's against them. They believe that he doesn't like Liberians. That's what they believe. That's what they believe. You say Liberia will be zero in sports. Zero. In sports? Zero. Let's go to Nations Cup now. Go to Nations Cup. Let's see. Let me see you Nations Cup. Go to Nations Cup. I'll give $500,000. If you qualify for Nations Cup, I'll give your national team $500,000. I promise. Your national team, you are experiencing Liberia now. If you don't know, in 2 years' time, Liberia will be worse. Will be one of the worstest country in the whole world. What I mean, worstest country in the whole world. If Liberia will not protest against this government, tell me there is no God. If Liberia will not begin to cry, coming together to cry and said, we don't want you again, leave, resign, tell me there is no God, I will never serve God again. I am a prophet of God, and I'm talking as a prophet. Right? The hardship, you have not seen the hardship now. In 2 years' time, you will see the hardest hardship you have ever experienced. Liberia will drink dirty water, and they will be thanking God for drinking. That is the kind of president you have. This president does not have anything. He doesn't have any template. He doesn't have any roadmap for the nation. They just force him there. It was rigged election. Rigged election. It was forced on you people. Was forced to be president. So, and the people who connive to do all of this and put him there, right? US.
You mean US, the United States?
United States. They are involved in this election. I am telling you, not politically, I am telling you spiritually what I foresaw. It was rigged, totally rigged. And now they have seen it, that this person does not know anything. This person cannot help the nation. This person cannot put the nation right.
We are pleased that tens of thousands of Liberian citizens have peacefully converged on the grounds in the premises of the capital. We are here to submit a petition statement to tell Joseph Boakai enough is enough. I am not the petitioner. I have only been called upon to introduce a program. So, and now the essence of this program. We are proud of you. We are happy for you. We expect today that Mr. Joseph Yima Boakai, President Joseph Yima Boakai, will come here and receive this petition from his local government. And Thank you. We know. Hello. Mr. Bongai suffers chronic physical and mental incapacitation problem. We know that. So if he will not be, we will understand it. But then he must at least send his vice president to come here. He must at least send his vice president to come here and receive the petition. We are peaceful. We simply want to connect to him our set of grievances and make demands that are reasonable. Hello? If President Parker or his vice president will not come here, we just received information that they are sending Rachel Kuhn to come here and receive a petition. Listen, listen, listen. Hello, hello. Thank you. Now, so therefore, we are saying the tens of thousands of Liberians representing the over 6 million citizens of this country are saying we will never submit a petition to a random speaker. Hello, Rachel Kuhn, Rachel Kuhn, Rachel Kuhn. A man with the support of Joseph Wanga that attacked the legitimacy and the authority of the Supreme Court will not be recognized as Speaker of the country. Therefore, Rachel Kuhn lacks legitimacy to be Speaker. Rachel Kuhn is an alleged criminal and must be prosecuted for bribery and for corruption. Hello? With that said, the petition will still be read. Okay? The petition will still be read. The program will still go ahead. But someone said, "Paul, if President Bongai does not show up here today or send a respected member of his office to receive our petition, we promise at the end of this program, we, the people of this country, we will come back to the street in the future. And when we come back, the demands that we will make will be far better than today's demand." Thank you. Thank you. So, again, Chairman, great. I want to say thank you for you that who came out today. I want to say thank you to our motorcyclists, to our truck cyclists. We want to say thank you. Thank you that you stood with us. You defeated all of the lies. And let me say this to you, Mr. President. We promise that until you receive our petition, we will not present our petition to any criminal. We are aware that Rachel Kuhn is a role, and we will not present our petition to him. To you, Mr. President, your people collected over 14 million from 4 Monomo people. That is the highest level of evil I have ever seen in my entire life. You promised to provide jobs for our motorcyclists. We took away the only means of livelihood. You beat them, you killed them. You have arrested over 10,000 motorcyclists. You are bringing our different police stations, schools, and campus. We are here to challenge you. Your mess rule is enough. We are going to say enough. We and Mother Saka come to say, Amanda, thank you so much. Brother Chairman, I want to say thank you. Thank you ever so much. People struggle. Whoa, just about that, whoa. Thank you very much. You want to put a hand together for yourself, please? Thank you. You want to say thank you very much for showing up to the young people across the 17 electoral national.
And let me say, hands up to all of you wherever you are. It's great joining us right here tonight on this very day, and we are grateful to the Almighty God that we are right here beaming with life and that of good health. And no matter what the circumstances are, we are certainly getting there. You know, I was so elated. It was over the weekend somewhere, somehow. Oh yes, near Chanabo. I had gone there to drop the family to attend to something, and an elderly man walked out right in front of the door, not knowing him so much. He said, "AB, how you doing?" I said, "I'm okay." He said, "You may not know me." He called his name. He said to me, "AB, you did well." I said, "How?" He said, "Remember when the elections results were announced and everyone was broken? I am from Alternative National Congress, the ANC." That's what he told me. He said, when everyone was broken, you were the only person who stood tall on your platform and remained very much resolved. You brought back hope. Not just that you brought back hope, you predicted that despite the elections result today, Liberians will know for sure that those who are celebrating, they will soon go in shame. And those of you who are down today, you will soon begin celebration because of the failure of these people that was intended and destined to happen. I was so proud of myself. I said, thank you. That's how we save life. That's how we help. That's what God sent us for. So that we do things that we may not know is very much of impact to people. He said, "AB, I'm from the Alternative National Congress, the ANC. And I want to tell you, thank you for that. Up to date." He said, "You have made Waterspoon to join you. In fact, their own rescue, all their rescue fighters have now joined you. AB, you are something else." He said, "Certainly I am something else. I am God sent." So I'm grateful to the Almighty God, people. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for everything. And we are very grateful to the Almighty God that we are certainly getting there. And remember, with God, all things are possible. So welcome to the program, Face the Issues on Kings 88.5. My name is Simran Godson. When I'm right here with you, it's not that we're bragging about it, but that's exactly what we chose to have done at that time, to save life, to tell people that this is it that happened. This is it that will happen. We told people that God was not in this election result. Not everyone you see passing in school here and there, the school fair grade. Some of them bribe their way through, whatever means. As to what they do is what determines whether they actually work towards it. So if I, Abraham William, went to court and I was not having good representations here and there, then you can take it back to the time I was in school. Right? Yeah. They say, by their fruits we shall know them. So the fruit out of the Unity Party tells you how you know how they came to power. That those pastors like Pastor Dumba who are giving flag to Joseph Boakai and so forth here and there, sorry, Pastor, me, I just to talk. When I see things, I talk it. Sorry. It's just this AB that you're getting in this country. He's so stubborn and he's so bad off, as you will call him. He can just say it, but he doesn't say things that he hasn't seen or he knows about. He says it as it is. Right? So Pastor Dumba then were giving the country flag. In fact, despite George, we are doing everything, raising him up as the first man of God ever in the country's history to man the podium to address the nation. And of course, on Independence Day. Yet they still went against George Weah. They went against George Weah, and no problem. And Pastor Dumba and their Liberty Christian Church. In fact, when there was no, I don't want to even say what George Weah did for these people who went against him. Today, some of their ministries have broken and things are becoming so bad for them. And today, the worst happening in this country, and they can't say anything. They are the men of God, and we are still looking up to them. So now go back to their members and say, we told you that God was with this leadership. By their fruits, we shall know them. And that is the same one I want for them to preach when they're talking to you. By their fruits, we shall know them. By their fruits, we shall know them. So by the fruits of the Unity Party, it tells you that the Unity Party government, like we have predicted, because I don't want to say prophesized. I'm not a prophet. And I don't want to tell you, say, that we have some soothsaying about it. No, I'm not a soothsayer. And I'm just trying to tell you that I'm a predictor. Yeah. So we did predict that indeed this is what was going to happen. It's not that we were predicting because we're wishing somebody evil. No. There's a difference between predictions based upon people's conduct and what you know them for than wishing somebody evil. So we didn't wish anything like that. No. We didn't wish Boakai to fail. No. It is not our wish, and that's why we are where we are. We are just saying that Boakai was not capable. He was not capable. That's what we said, and up to date. All is evidence by the fact that the Waterspoon who supported them, the Martin Collin who they are all disappointed today. Abraham William is still with the CDC. Have I changed? No. Have they made me any way shame? No. Have they disappointed me? No. The only area of disappointment coming from that from the Unity Party fighters camp. They're the one facing disappointment. I haven't been disappointed. I'm still proud of George Weah. I'm still proud of George Weah. Today, it still speaks to that. So I don't have time for how people feel about me. I don't care about you. I want to care about what God has sent me to do. And what I'm doing. I don't have time for you. Sometimes you look at me and some of you will say things about me. I don't care about you. I want to care about God. I care about what God tells me to do. And I'm not doing it because it's George Weah. I'm not doing it because it's CDC. It's because I'm doing it because Liberia has to, strive and, of course, get out of these kind of deceptive politics and so forth here and there. Thanks goodness to George Manneh Weah's leadership that have transitioned our country from deceptive politics to what developmental politics. Today, we are arguing based on development. It's not about deception anymore. Who has the numbers? That's not what we're discussing now. We are discussing developments based upon what? And what is presented to us. So we are very grateful, and I'm happy for myself. I'm happy that at least I'm here doing what I can for my country. I don't have time for what people think. I don't care about what they say. I'm just Abraham God sent Weah. And one thing I never, ever will do is to ignore the fact that God has me for a purpose and allow other things to break me down. I will be strong, and I will always be strong. You know why? Because I know that you people are out there. Every time I step out in the streets and I see you people and you're recognizing the work that we do, then nothing matters to me anymore than working the more for you people. And I'm not going to do anything that is more personal that will break me down to forgo the task that God has sent me for. Thank you all for your love you have shown to me. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you for everything. Look at what happened over the weekend. When I say things, you will say now, you want to go here and there, right? But people, let me ask you again. Me, I will always remind you. Let me ask you again. When the guys from the CDC had their press conference in Zwedru, and were panicking on day one of their gathering. And they decided to mention Jeremiah Kun and that of Zoe Penner. What was my reaction to that press conference that day? I said it was wrong. They were making Zoe Penner and again. In fact, oh gosh, I'll describe it in fact. I said they were making them to just gain relevance, unnecessary relevance. And I said it was very much unnecessary that they had even a press conference to mention Zoe Penner and whatever. Like, they kind of time now you're supposed to have that press conference to say despite effort exerted by these people. And I told you to say that Grand GDF program was going to be packed. And I told you, what did I tell you people? Didn't I tell you people that Grand GDF program was going to be one of the biggest gatherings that were going to shake up the Unity Party? I told you people. I told you people that Grand GDF thing was not going to be an easy thing. I told you it was going to be jam because that day the minute I had a press conference, I had serious issue with them. I said, why you even have that press conference to mention the people's name? You have your press conference to not talk about your other activities here and there, blah, blah, blah. It's important. Forget about who's doing what. You're giving them undue relevance. Undue relevance. Look at how that Grand GDF took the entire attention of the government away. And I kind of sound bite there and enjoy from that Grand GDF era. When we tell you your thing, I told you say that Grand GDF program was going to be a great success, a resounding success. Did it not happen? I knew it was going to be. Didn't I tell you people? And I told you say it was going to be. Yeah. When we thought things, they can happen because God makes us to look into the future. God very destined us. We can look into the future. Don't see ABC now like this. Sometimes, okay, I'm part of the group that are overthinkers. I will agree that I'm overthinker. But the characteristics of overthinkers, just look at it. There are people who look into the future. They may not have any idea or whatever it is, but they are who are looking into the future. And they may not be exactly into that future, but they are good at looking into the future. So we can look at things we observe and we tell you they may not be 100%, but we'll tell you that this is what's happening, this is what's going to happen. You may want to doubt it or whatever it is, but in the end, something will come from out of it. That's just us. So just know all of that. I told you people that Grand GDF program was going to be a great success, and it did happen. So why you think we're not going to? Oh, that one year I wanted to play. Yeah, let me listen to the woman. I didn't want you to catch you. Though I'm not talking anything about the Grand GDF thing too much, just a little I will say about it, and then we go into the drug issue, which is very, 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 very more important. 2 minute things coming up. 2 minute happiness. Y'all listen to the woman. I'm from Grand GDF County.
So you praying for some? So you praying for some already? I said, Mama, your people want to Baba.
Like that in Grand GDF County.
So you praying for some already? I said, Mama, your people want to Baba.
Like that in Grand GDF.
So you praying for some already? I said, Mama, your people want to Baba.
Like that in Grand GDF County. You can see the love and the joy and the power.
So there are several other video clips that you will get from Grand GDF County. There are numerous of video clips that you'll get from Grand GDF Nima County. And as a matter of fact, there was something that came up. Ruth Coker Collins, and the former Port West minister, she was in Grand GDF County, and she said something about the roads. They talk about how the CDC government did everything they could, and in an apparent and of course a challenge of Zoe Penner, who was working in the CDC government and failed to acknowledge what the CDC government did for the people in the Southeast. So whatever Unity Party is doing is the making of the CDC. Okay, so when she said all of those things, remember my friend and brother Alpha Sekpeni, he has a group they call Local Voices. They will go and do their fact checking. They will do their fact checking to see whether it is true that all those roads projects and things then were funded by the CDC or secured by the CDC, especially in the Southeast Belt. So they said this, and this is what they said here. They said former Public Works Minister Ruth Coker Collins claimed that the CDC administration started pavement works, the Sekla PA to Tapeta Road, and signed the Tapeta Toll Town Road contract and secured financing for the Toll Town to Zwedru corridor before leaving office. That was what she said, and the video clip is there. She did say that. Then when they did their fact check, they said we have verified these claims by reviewing official project documents and records from CCRAM and RETRAP, right? So they said our funding shows that the WIA administration secured financing, awarded contracts, and commenced construction on the Sekla PA Tapeta Road, while the Tapeta Toll Town contract was signed on August 18, 2023, at the time George Weah was still in power during President Weah's tenure. We also found that the financing for the Toll Town to Zwedru section was secured before the transition of the government. Therefore, Coker Collins claims is right. CDC people don't lie. Right. So this is it. And we just wanted to tell you these things to tell you that this is what it is. So the video clips from Grand Judea County has really upset the entire government. They had thought that the Grand Judea gathering was going to be a poll showing. Now they challenged them on day one that was going to be the resounding success. Several other political leaders from the opposition community, they visited Grand Judea County. Cummins, Bidity, the rest of the other folks, they visited Grand Judea County upon the call of the CDC to that program. Now, that was not a program that was intended to have had opposition together to sign that they are not going to go against each other and they are going to do XYZ. What they are trying to say is that for us, we are in the same place and we have the same agenda, though with different leaderships, but we all think in the same way and we all have alignment of thoughts as to how the country is progressing. So we can be enemies against ourselves. Thank you so much, Koloba Akwe of Lofa County. Yeah, Grand Judea was great. Regina Mayer and of Nima County, I did speak with him. Koloba Akwe is here as well. So you saw it clearly that those people show up there. The reason they show up there, which of course hurts the Unity Party folks so much, they didn't show up there to tell you that, oh, they're going to sign memorandum of understanding, that they're going to be together forever, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not why they signed up there. They went down there to demonstrate that the country is not in good hands. And they are contemplating, each party is contemplating the same way to take Joseph Boakai people from there. Those CDC had been there before. Cummins had not been there. Bidity had not been in leadership before. And Simeon has not been there before. All those people, they haven't been there before. But for the mere fact that CDC is in opposition, and as a leading opposition political party, and their thoughts about the entire governance system, all alliance, they believe that they can work together. And that's why they went down there. And one would say, how are you looking at the Cummins man today, here and there? Then the question we ask is, how did Joseph Boakai look at Cummins the last time? Joseph Boakai told Cummins to quote. Joseph Boakai said Cummins are criminal. Joseph Boakai said Cummins are XYZ, yet he yearned for Cummins' support. Joseph Boakai craved for Cummins' support, despite everything he said. Yes, that's politics. When people are aside and they are far apart, they will say things about each other. But when you come to support me, I forget about that. And I think that for the mere fact that you come in to support me, it's all done. But it is not a case with what you saw down there as though. But let me tell you this. Why the Unity Party people were jittery? At least for CDC. In their first rallying call, they did not rally opposition members to go have protest. CDC did not. CDC did not. In fact, they are not even showing desperation. That's the word. They are not showing desperation to take or to come back to power. They are not showing desperation. So, to the extent that even people are accusing the CDC of not being serious, because they expect that the CDC will be so. No, the only reason the United Party was very serious, they were hungry and broke. $5 they never had. Joseph Boakai just came from power. It didn't pass 1 month. Joseph Boakai was already hungry. So you expect a hungry man to not be desperate to come from poverty? Joseph Boakai was already begging all over the place. You don't expect him to be angry. When you look at the people who were protesting at the time against the CDC, you could see angry faces of people who were hungry. More than dry all over the place, broke all over the place. You could see it in their faces. They were hungry. They were broke. They were down. Nothing they had anymore. That was why they were interested in having protests. In fact, the intent of their protest at the time was to topple the CDC government. It was not to raise issues. It was to topple the CDC government, that they must move from power now. That was what they wanted. That was why. So you think CDC desperate? No, they're not desperate. You see, this is what happens when you are desperate. When you are desperate for something, it doesn't end well for you. The CDC is taking its time. What you see the CDC doing, the how opposition behaves. CDC is teaching different style of opposition leadership. You know, anything associated with George Weah, it goes with teaching lessons. It goes with lesson. You look, when you look at George Weah's life, sometimes forget about the NBA. See lesson. Look at the man celebrated anniversary. That lesson for me too. I learned from that. The man is in opposition now. The man is in opposition now. And the man is teaching how opposition should behave. To the extent that it is strange to most people. People are even asking whether George Weah serious, you want to come back. Then you ask them, say, why are you asking? You see United Party people, how they used to be on the government, but yes. How do you expect? Okay, little baby is down there, right? The way baby will jump on my back when she's hungry. It's not the same way a child who has eaten and of course know how to compose will jump on my back. So the way these people were desperate and poverty had already eaten Joseph Boakai out. The clothes he was wearing, very faded, BP coat suits, nothing sound was on him anymore, and you were begging all over the place. You could see the desperation in him. Who will call that kind of person to protest? In fact, he was rallying people to protest grounds. You know what it takes for somebody to send you to hospital? Taking for your dying bed. Instead of you focusing on your health, for you to go stand to protest ground and start protesting against the very person, if it is not out of desperation, you think Boakai would have stood up at protest ground? Tell me, if it were not out of desperation, would Boakai have stood at a protest ground to ignore the fact that this man I'm protesting against? That man just saved me from hospital. That man government gave me life, so no, I can't go down there. But he was desperate. What will he do if he decided not to go a protest ground and make sure to embarrass George Weah government? The poverty was there. It was not just giving this man, but the man, even if he got well, what he was going to be eating? Joseph Boakai was hungry. What he was going to be eating? So he sat down, he looked at a bunch of hungry children, and they call him, they say, Papa, we got to go down there. That is what you saw. That is what you saw. So they were desperate. Now, CDC said, George Weah said, no, we're not going to behave like them. For them, they are hungry. Let George Weah there in left power. We're playing to FIFA. George Weah is to FIFA Nana. At least able to get some money to manage himself and manage the people who believe in him. Right? So, does he have to be desperate, especially 3 more years? No. George Weah is saying, let us try to organize ourselves. Let's forget about the desperation of going to protest, standing there, getting vexed here and there, blah, blah, blah. What are we getting vexed for? The opportunity came for us to go to election. We went to election. The people won. And the Liberian people decided to put those people there. So let's give them a chance for them to lead. The only thing we'll not do is to shut our mouths on what they are doing. And we'll keep saying it. We'll keep pressing. We're going to stand up to protest and say, oh, but no, we're not going to do that. The citizens themselves will do that, but we as our political and will back those citizens when they are doing it because they are now in charge of their country. That the citizens now in charge of their country. After the election, we relinquish leadership of the country. So it is now the citizens. That's why you see when civil society as such as mobile model them when they rally in protest, all political actors will give them the backing. But it can be political faces going there. Why are you going to show your face for when you and the man went to election and it's appeared that the man beat in the election? Why are you going there to go show your face? That kind of thing can be looking some kind of way. But George, we say I will not show my face at protest grounds. No. But this is it. So you see what's happening now? That's the leadership style that CDC is teaching. That this is it. Let's spot their problems. The line they want to do, the project stealing they want to do. Let us highlight those issues then going to protest. At least, George, we are able to rally opposition members to go at an anniversary to celebrate and then make speeches. Unlike Joseph Boakai and his group, who decided to rally opposition people to protest ground, executive mansion, and say, George, we must step down. So who is mature? Who is politically mature? Who is democratically, clever or democratically and sound? Who is that person? Is it not George Weah? George Weah, I just came from football field and came in politics. He teaching you. He's teaching you. That's what politics is all about. George Weah should wake up and tell the opposition go protest. Then the point, no. The opposition is serious. It's a mature opposition. You don't expect them to follow the Unity Party path. The Unity Party path of opposition is out of desperation. Hungry, broke, hungry people. Bunch of hungry people come together angry. If these guys were not angry, what made you think that the garden will sit down and look at people like Koji as mayor and they vex? Is Koji not a human being? Only desperation can make people think like that. Why would they have sat down to look at people like Mama C. Kabane and say, look at the people there, and say, only desperation could make people to be like that? Only desperation. Because they were desperate. Is the CDC desperate to come back to power? No. The CDC will come back to power. And when you are in a state of desperation, you lose focus. Now, what the CDC is doing and the opposition leaders are doing, or the opposition community doing, is to observe. What are the lapses? You can be in a state of desperation where temporarily you somewhat unstable. Then you say you want to take over. They will just put you there and you know where to start. At least the CDC is observing, spotting the points. That's what leadership is all about. That's what CDC is teaching you leadership. They are in opposition. They're teaching you leadership in opposition. They're not desperate. They don't see you United Party folks as their enemies. They demonstrated it when they were in opposition before. That's how their leader, George Weah, was able to serve under the United Party government, serving as peace ambassador. They demonstrated it before, and they are still demonstrating it today. CDC had never been desperate. No. CDC was willing to work with you, and CDC worked with you people on a United Party during the time Ellen Johnson said he was president. CDC, that had been the CDC. Is it surprising to you people today? I know about then. You were not even thinking to say, oh, Joe, we have one kind of power. How can you take appointment or maybe a responsibility from Ellen Johnson Sirleaf? It does not have to be that way. You will still come to power when you want to come to power. That's political maturity. That's political maturity. CDC will not do things destabilizing or whatever it is. No, nobody will blame CDC. CDC will take power at the appropriate time and through the appropriate means. CDC has been very much a composed political party that don't see governance or people in government as enemies. And I give you a classic example. George Weah worked on Ellen government as peace ambassador. He doesn't see people as enemies. Like Joseph Boakai making it like this. What do you know? George Weah don't have any issue. The way Joseph Boakai was in power, the way George Weah was doing that inauguration, look at Joseph Boakai was making that a reckless statement and right after he won the election. But what did George Weah do? George Weah exercised political maturity. Call him Joseph Boakai to the mansion, laughing with him, shaking his hand. Why he carry Grush and all to the mansion? Joseph Boakai, no, George Weah silencing and pushing aside and just kill him with smiles. You think that Mr. Wonderboy you can't deal with here? He went to the mansion angry. And I can't take power now. George Weah just smiled with him. Smile, broke him down. The web went straight for car we are car and all. They get vexed going for car we are car because she never said any good car before. They carry her to go show her places. The office of the president, she can't say, oh, that car too far. I want it. Then she said, angry Mandela Cooper, who let men business want to sleep with every good person because she now have opportunity around where her vindictiveness she carried there say, send me, oh man, I don't want to go for the car. They can go staying from Clara Marie Weir for her car business. Useless bunch of people who have got no ideas as to what governance is all about, no courtesy, no respect they have got for anybody. They decided to jump there talking about car business, how to smash them in the face. Good car that you think a woman husband not able to buy it for her, or she and her husband can put money together to buy it. Now you both are able to get good thing. Everything you're on at the country, that liability. Can go take your shoulder par with at that time she used to be wearing Chinese shoes, that Chinese sandals or Chinese something she used to be stepping in the people fan car like that. And then she can say that they can't go. I want it. I will take it. They can't load it for oil. Take it for what? Where? You and your husband never saw any good thing in your life before until the country, you took the country power. So you yet in opponent, they ain't get a good thing in their life. The opponent life. You think the opponent, they are struggling people that they will not get that kind of car, the woman husband. You know what kind of car then the woman husband has? Yeah? Could you imagine that? Then you can say that, you can say, oh, that car there, go, go take. That's political maturity CDC is teaching you people. Political maturity. And you will learn your lesson well. So steady. You have been parasite on the country ever since. And there are certain people in country who are regime parasites. They can only live on regime. They put a open on them from one regime to another regime. They are regime parasites. They only survive on regimes. The same way Katumu Bwaka and Joseph Bwaka are governmental parasites. Governmental parasites meaning they can only survive on government. The moment you take God, but you saw the people drowning already. Just for them to take them from government. Just for 6 years, Joseph Bwaka was finished. He was gone. The parasites. You know what they call parasites? Look, study. Go and do your research and ask what they call parasites. Parasites are those things or those species that cannot live on their own. They got to survive on other people. They got to survive on other things. Parasites. So governmental parasites, that Joseph Bwaka, Katumu Bwaka, then they can never ever. And now when they get some paper there in the country from 19 time. All their whole life they've been working in government. Those are governmental parasites. Without government, they can't make it. Now we get regime parasites. Regime parasites mean there are people who cling on from one regime to another. There is nothing they can do without any regime. So they now become regime parasites. Now we have governmental parasites and we have regime parasites. Now you should be able to understand for yourself which one are we really talking about here, who face where. Because when we get regime parasites and that are governmental parasites, you should know who to place where. There are some people there, their whole life, not just government job, they just want all over to their whole life. Their whole life. The job we are left from government. What the job we are, he went to private life. What the private life on a FIFA mission? Is he a regime parasite? No. Because there's no regime anyway. Is he a governmental parasite? No. That's not it. Yeah. But I don't say Tifa there because Tifa just started it. That's the first time coming in government business. Because the first time he ever came from private life to government, it was the time you were doing a plain work, and then he came from there, joined CDC or what they call. So I want to call Tifa regime parasite yet. I don't know. The time we call Tifa regime parasite is for CDC to win. For CDC to win. And Tifa come to CDC and start putting power more on Unity Party. Now, how regime parasite can be? Regime parasite, they can get on the other one and cause the other one that they were with because they get nothing going inside again. So you see that? That they want a regime parasite, they can do. Regime parasite, they must get on the new person, but they're not just getting on it at all. They will start causing the old person. They will start causing the old person. So they are regime parasites. Nobody should call them regime hobojo. Same rate. Don't be doing nothing. Don't call anybody that. Right? Okay. My brother Kanyo, I don't know. Kanyo have been in opposition before. Even when government was in power. So I don't want to equate him to regime parasite yet. No. Maybe he get a reason. I can still gain small time. So Kanyo, T5, And who again? I can't call them regime parasite for now. I'm waiting. There is time to call those people their names. But the one that you can call regime parasites now is open. Every regime, they want to be close to that regime. They want to be friendly with that regime. So every regime, they must be friendly with that regime. Those are regime parasites. So you see, with when we are talking somebody today, I go see that talk today. But we'll get there. We are still waiting before we can categorize people and tell them where they fit. So, okay, Eugene Fagon. Okay, somebody just mentioned Eugene Fagon as regime parasite. No, Eugene did not successfully end with the CDC. So I can't call him regime parasite. Let's be fair to him. He didn't successfully end with the CDC. I'm talking about people who were happy with the CDC, they ended with the CDC. Nobody thought they could make any plan with the CDC, but the moment you need a party kind of power, they start making plan with the CDC. And the people are talking about calling them parasite. I want to understand the word I'm using parasite. There are certain kind of people. I talk about people who ended with the CDC. Well, their teeth will stay up when the CDC ended. But the moment you let the party come there, now they went against the CDC. That the parasite they are talking about that in there. So that those ones are called parasite. So please, I'm begging, let us understand the thing so that we don't call other people who don't fit there, we put them there for nothing. So we can't do that one to them. So that's the regime parasites we're talking about that in there. So you should know the regime parasites. They are there. Then we have governmental parasites that they play Joseph Boakai and Katumu Boakai then fit a governmental parasites. That only government, the jail with government work. They being government throughout. Right? That's it. Must survive on government. Oh, we are government. Joseph Boakai was surviving on we are again because he had to survive on government. So he was surviving on we are. That we are had to save his life. So governmental parasites are people that they can't do without government support or anybody in government support. Yeah. So that's what it is. So they are governmental parasites. And I'm saying these things with facts. These are all facts. You don't put my brother Wilfred Bang. Yeah, Wilfred Bangura by in well with CDC. And then he joined behind United Party now. He laid the SEMA, SEMR. Wilfred Bangura in a good governmental parasite yet. Okay, he ended well with the CDC. Then he joined United Party. So Wilfred Bangura got no that regime parasite. Now, Wilfred Bangura is treading the path of becoming a regime parasite. You know that, my man. He's treading the path of becoming a regime parasite. So we're not going to go too much into it in that way. But anyway, we are certainly getting there. Let's just leave that. So the Grand Nigeria people want to say thanks to all of you for the organization. That was very great. Thanks to the CDC for the leadership provided so far. We appreciate you people. Sometimes you don't have to fight people, they will stay worried. The CDC did not have to fight today. The CDC did not go to protest. The CDC have not protested yet, Unity Party jittering. Why if the CDC were to call for protests? The CDC just called opposition members to their anniversary. The Unity Party is panicking. Why if the CDC were to call for protest? And George Weah said, let's go for protest today. George Weah will be there. Then the government finish. That day, Joseph Boakai will resign. CDC now call for protest, yo. Because when George Weah say you want to go protest, George Weah will call for 1 million men protest. And George Weah himself will be in front. Who can stop it? Some of the police here will join that protest. If you're not careful, the AFL may even join. In their plain clothes, I say as AFL now. But you will not see them. That's why you got to be careful. When we say these things, you will sit down here and there. CDC only call for rally in Grand Nigeria County where only citizens are. Because all the opposition leaders who went there, the other opposition leaders, they didn't carry their partisans along. Right? It is only CDC partisans that show up there. They only went to address CDC partisans at a CDC organized program. CDC did not tell them to carry their partisans, and they did not carry their partisans. If you see their respective convoys, they didn't carry their partisans in numbers. It was CDC partisans you saw there. This tells you the strength of the CDC. Right? They organized their program. They invited these people to make speeches. And thanks to my old man, Kabina Jane, His Honor, Justice Jane, I want to say thank you so much too for showing up there. So that is what we saw. The CDC now organize protest here to say opposition members, you can't go for protest. The whole country, Joseph Boakai will resign the very day. Thank God Zwedru has silenced them. Thank God Zwedru has silenced them. And as Zwedru silenced them, then we jump on the issue of the drug. Too many things are happening. I was reading through the front page Africa today. It's too interesting. It is very, very interesting. The drug issue now, that what we are on now. Let me display to you what the front page Africa reported today. We'll read it and analyze it for you because it's full of meat inside to tell you that the drug thing, nowhere it is going. Joseph Boakai is unserious about it. The drug thing not going anywhere. Thanks to front page Africa, I will display their stuff here so that we all will read it together. And what I want for us to do, let's read it together and understand what it is. Me, you see me in the country here, you're gonna be saying, oh, Abraham, we let it. You forgot about the screen, yeah. The screen will be slow. But I leave it. Well, what they call it? Don't worry. Hold the Abraham, we let it. Abraham, we let it. Y'all look at the drug issue the men talk about. What did they say? They said U.S. Marshal or Ghost and the ties linking the RRA, right? U.S. 19 million airport drug syndicate. They call it one Marco Brown name. Now, let me tell you a bit about this Marco Brown. The Marco Brown you're seeing here. So, after I did that first report, I know Marco too good. He was at the Roberts International Airport. And when I had my consultancy there, that was when I met him. My friend, brother, Ebenezer Baz, Wilson, Bazuka, all of us, we are great guys. We were together. And I knew Marco from the Roberts International Airport. So when I mentioned the name Marco, the very night, Marco Brown, I didn't know it was his Marco Brown because the Marco Brown I knew at then was not somebody whom I think who had been involved in such. He was a part of the technical team, the technical department, doing his late piece of job all of the time. And but I know he used to play with money. And at one point in time, I even wanted to buy certain air condition from him because he said he furnished one guy place, he put the air condition there. They get misbehaving here and there. I said, but take the air conditioner from there, bring it, I will buy it. I carry it. He said, a brand new air conditioner. He said, what I wanted to buy it from him. I said, my man, I'm behind you for that air conditioner. Go bring it to me here, buy. So I wanted for him to take it from the guy and then get the air conditioner to me so that I could buy. I wanted thing. He was fair with the guy. He said, he put everything in the guy was misbehaving. But anyway, so that's why I knew. That's what I just knew Marco for. I didn't see again since I several ties with the airport until later. I didn't even know he was somebody whom they allegedly had issue about drug and they had to sack him from the airport. I didn't know all of that. So on a night that we all were discussing it, when I was discussing the issues and the intelligence I was sharing with you people, all of which eventually came through, a day passed, he called a friend of mine and said, oh, Abe doesn't know me. Abe don't know that I'm the Marco they're talking about how you mentioned, but I'm not involved in that. I'm not involved in it. So I told the guy, I said, oh, tell him, let him call me. But I don't know him to be that Marco Brown. I know that the person who gave me the intelligence mentioned one Marco Brown. While they were mentioning the Marco Brown, I didn't think that it was him. So I was reporting as I saw it. So I was reporting as I saw it. So he called me and told me it. So I said, tell him to call me. So he called me and said, man, Abi, your man. You heard that kind of thing there. You know that how the Marco Brown they talking about. I said, what? He said, oh, I wasn't open and sack me down there. They started accusing me. They say I was doing drug thing. They want to sack me down there. Me here in Sierra Leone, I'm doing my late work here. If you check every time in Sierra Leone, every time you're talking about Sierra Leone, it rang bell to me. And I say, Sierra Leone. Okay, no problem. I said, oh, but then sorry, I didn't know it's your Marco Brown. But if I mention Marco Brown, I think that you're Brown. That's what I said to him. That one part will be blunt. I said, I don't think I don't think that's your Brown we are talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about. But man, I know you, man. I will know that you're Brown and I say that kind of thing. I said, no, I don't think that's your Brown. He said, yeah, because I don't even know about what thing, blah, 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 all the kind of thing you were saying. But the place I was concerned was, I said, but Marco, if you say you've been selling through all and going back and forth, I think I don't think you were even in the country when that thing happened, because it was sometimes on Friday, but Saturday, the house started mentioning, and they said the call was placed by the Marco on a Sunday, and the Marco Brown were talking about. But I don't think you were in country. You know, I tried to now buy his whole thing. I said, but if I was talking about telling Marco, I don't think it's you, because that you in Sierra Leone. I don't think you were in country at that time. He said, no, I came to Sierra Leone on Monday. So it clicked to me. I said, oh, okay. He said, yeah, but I came in on Monday. And remember, the incident and everything was discovered on Sunday. And it caused the person was talking about that the Marco Brown were involved with and placing, it happened on Sunday. And he said he left the country on Monday. Now, so yet, despite all he explained here and there, and he said he's not involved or whatever, I left it. So today, I'm seeing this Marco Brown name being mentioned here again by Front Page Africa through the so far investigations that are now conducted, being conducted. Now, let's listen to the Front Page. Let's read through the Front Page Africa newspaper, and some of you will listen to me. And that is what it said here, right? So the caption here is U.S. Marshal August and the ties linking the RRA, U.S. 19 million airport drug syndicate. This is what it is, right? Let me explain to you, and I'll be reading it, explaining it to you so that you have an idea about this whole drug thing. It will tell you that we're going nowhere. The reason I will tell you shortly. Very, very soon, I will tell you why we are not going anywhere with this drug issue. So the Front Page Africa said in July 2024, when Liberia was first engulfed in the trafficking of Kuch, a traditional strain of cannabis originating from Hindu Kush mountains, in the order of dangerously addictive synthetic drug mixture that became rampant in West Africa, the legend of Marco U.S. Brown, aka U.S. Marshal, was already known to many in the circles of the Roberts International Airport. So they said the guy here, they call him legend. They say the legend, I know the legs of all the legend of Marco U.S. Brown, aka U.S. Marshal. They say they used to call him U.S. Marshal, right? They say he's a ghost. Now listen to this. They say it was his taste of flaunting around U.S. dollars bills that coined him as moniker U.S. Marshal. They say he used to let a U.S. dollar bill. Until you say the time was running that air conditioner I wanted to take from him. They may have money. The man went and put the air conditioner to what I was saying. So when your wife listening and I hear nothing that way back something or whatever. When people are interested in getting cheap air conditioners, so even whatever to make a flower more, right? So they say he used to play with money, and that's true. Marco, somebody who's good. Marco used to credit people. Marco used to play with people. So how they used to call him U.S. Marshal. Okay. They say at the time the illicit synthetic Stanson crude was actively being trafficked through the both RRA and the Bow Waterside border. Multiple brushs indicated these were major routes of the entry, right? So the untouchable U.S. Marshal, that means the untouchable Marco Brown. That's the Front Page Africa version. In fact, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency confiscated multiple boxes of synthetic drugs arriving via commercial flights. These include massive bursts in July 2024, where 10 kilograms of Kuch heroin and were intercepted at the RRA, right? The incident which led to the firing of Brown, I mean Marco Brown, is now drawing major parallel and damaging links to the recent U.S. 19 million drug bust. Front Page Africa has been informed that following the incident, Marco Brown was dismissed by the management of the Liberia Airport Authority. This investigation identifies Brown as previously dismissed employee whose alleged connections deserve closer scrutiny. Last week, you're listening now, Joseph Boaga said joint security should work. Let's leave that one. What we know, that's Front Page Africa now. Let's hear from Front Page Africa what they know now about this whole drug issue. What do they know now? So that's what they say, what we know. The emergence of Brown, however, raises more questions than answers and has the potential to undermine the president's assertions. Two investigators directly involved in the investigation confirmed that be two investigators. Yeah, listen, there's the part now I'm telling you that nothing will come from out of this thing. And I will tell you the reasons why. The moment we reach to some of those points, I will stress it out. He said, the Front Page Africa is saying that two investigators. The reason, let me tell you this. The reason you should trust the Front Page Africa is this. The Front Page Africa was the only newspaper or the news outlet that was able to publish or be able to release an audio on the investigation room. The kind of questions they were asking from there. Only Front Page Africa did that. So there are people you must respect when it comes to this kind of information, especially on the drug issue. Though there are some who will verify whatever it is, but you listen to this. They said 2 investigators directly involved in the investigation confirmed to Front Page Africa that Michael Brown has emerged as one of the individuals who placed the call to persons of interest Paul King. They still call him Paul King persons of interest. You listen to that one. Paul King, who the drug was at his house. Joseph Boga called Paul King and back. Paul King still person of interest. Right? Now, regarding one of the packages of cocaine, a package handler told investigators, one of the package handlers told the investigators, was stashed at Paul's residence. And the play was. Investigators informed Front Page Africa last week that since June 12, 2026, authorities have been in the know, about Brown's link, but have so far failed to name him as a person in the case, a person of interest in this case, or call him in for questioning. You listen, yo. And I told you, say Michael Brown down there, the person who gave me the intelligence is somebody whom Michael Brown called personally to. Michael Brown called this person, the same person. So Front Page Africa is saying, since the 12th of June, the authorities, the people who want to call the government people, they are aware that Michael Brown is a person who plays call in relation to this. But the government have never been able to call Michael Brown in. That's what they say here. They said since June 12, 2026, authorities have been in the know about Michael Brown's link, but have so far failed to name him as person of interest in this case or call him for questioning. So if Michael told me, Abraham Williams, that maybe that name that you call now, I hope now me do it. And then they come up with names of persons of interest, and Michael name that is not called. Why would I not believe it? Why would I not believe it that true? Michael not inside because of that true. But it was Michael who placed that call to the person who told me that Michael was involved. So you see there, it says June 12th. Nobody have called him Michael. Because they know exactly what it is. In fact, some investigators speaking to Front Page Africa on the condition of anonymity. Now, these investigators, they are telling Front Page Africa, don't call my Neo, that's what they call anonymity. Says that very little effort has been made to find the former airport employee, now believed to be the central figure that could fill the missing planks in the case drawing the scores. Investigators say Brown has been on the radar for quite some time. Nobody naming him as person of interest. Now, Paul, the name as person of interest. They say, so Front Page Africa asks again, so why is Brown not in custody? The incident has reportedly spurred tension between the LDA and Joint Investigative Team. They said there is a tension. So the Joint Investigative Team headed by, now listen to this. Hey, God, thank you, thank you. My people, y'all listen. Let me connect the dot here. Yeah. Front Page Africa just talk about the tension between the DEA and that of the Joint Investigative Team. Wow. I want to tell God thank you for opening my eyes always to look into the future. My people, you can remember recently when I came back and I said the way the Minister of Justice was having a press conference and other people who are associated with the joint security, they're not present. And whatever I believe that something future was going on. And I also told you people that because the LDA boss is not showing a face, neither is he denying or confirming that he has resigned, it shows something future was going on. Now there's something future I was talking about. Now if Front Page Africa referencing here that there is a tension. You see why I can be talking. You see, when I'm talking somebody today, I may not have an idea now why it is happening, but God can open my eyes to see it. And I Front Page Africa talking about here that there is a tension between the FDA and some members of the Joint Investigative Team. The DAS sources tell Front Page Africa that they are not sure why more is not being done to bring Brown for questioning. This is why the LDA boss just took himself off. Because the guys are covering up and he want to spoil his name. I told you that thing ever say, I said something was smelling. Something was cooking around the whole press conference that the Minister of Justice came with. Because you can see that there's no cohesiveness. LD on the other side, then Bwaka put the joint security. Now, the joint security team, they are there to protect Bwaka and his children. That's why they took that whole team from the LDA. What in be about a cocaine thing that you have to form whole big task force? You ask me the question. If Bwaka form the task force to cover up, that you think LDA couldn't handle the thing? 19 million, LDA couldn't handle it. Under the CDC, the LDA did their job. They are the only one that going to do that going to give testimony. The joint investigative team Bwaka put it together to cover his children up, to cover people up. This is nonsense. Nobody can fool anybody here. Now you can see it clearly. Because they want to cover our people. That's why Bwaka formed the task force to take away a job from. Could you imagine? They took the drug from LDA and carried it to the LMP. What did LMP get to do with drug business? You think the LDA can manage this thing? They can. But Bwaka does not want for them to spoil his name, to spoil his children, to expose them. So he created a big task force to make it to look like a serious lie. That task force was created to spoil the whole thing and stop this whole thing and stop the entire thing. That's why this task force came into being. The LDA will have handled this matter. If Bwaka had given the LDA a chance to do their investigation, they would have handled the matter and then report. Amen. So you carry the joint investigative team there so that, oh gosh, Bwaka, Bwaka. No wonder I'm seeing this happening. So you see there, basically, so I'll read this game. The incident has reportedly spurred tension between the DEA and Joint Investigative Team. DEA sources tell Front Page Africa that they are not sure why more is not being done to bring Brown in for questioning. To arrest him will open the whole can of wounds and perhaps unveil some hairy hands behind the drug business. That was what a member of the investigative team from DEA said. He said, it's not to grab that man straight. That man will call people names. It will open a can of worms. You'll see the worm coming outside. You will see Joseph Bwaka worm. You will see Joseph Bwaka himself worm. You may either see Speaker worm, or you see Mantida, I know how they call that woman, what they call that man Lapa woman there, worm. All of them, you see all kind of worm then coming from out of the can. All of the worm. So let's leave the man out. We shouldn't even call him anybody of interest before they go look for him. So the investigative team members on the DA who confided in Front Page Africa, they are saying, if you arrest that man, it will be the whole can of worms and perhaps unveil some hairy hands behind this drug business. That was what they told Front Page Africa. Rahim Bah, the ghost, listen to this. Paul whom? They cut the drugs to his place, and at the place he stole the drugs. Paul is about to say something to the investigators. Listen to this. When investigators sat down with Paul King, following his return to Monrovia last week, the general manager of GWS, Menzies, named an individual, Rahim Bah, as the first person who placed a call to him regarding the parcel containing Lapas and Maggie Q's. Paul said he had no idea. It was Rahim Bah who placed the call to him, say, oh, we get concerned. We want for you to please help us for your weigh it and do whatever it is for us to ship it. Right? So one for your GIS to do their work on it and then be able to ship it. He said the first call he received is the first person. Rahim Bah is the first person. Now, then I asked the poor man again. If Rahim Bah is the first person, then who is the second person? If Paul said Rahim is the first person, who is the second person? So he said Rahim Bah was the first person who placed a call to him regarding the parcel containing Lapas and Maggie Q's, seeking GLS Menzies and Menzies service to ship the package to United Kingdom. The GLS should ship it. Right? Paul, along with his brother Peter King, named as persons of interest in this investigation. They are persons of interest. Why Marco Brown is not named as persons of interest? That's the question. I will keep asking as we are going along. Paul, who was in the U.S., and I told you Paul was in the U.S., right? And Paul was placing the calls here, even to Philip. During the burst, returned home early last week and voluntarily surrendered to authorities. Paul's mention of Barr has raised eyebrows and proved to be a daunting mystery, even to investigators looking into the case. Even more troubling. That is why it is. The investigators say, but Paul, you say Rahim Barr. We are confused. How did Rahim Barr business come up? Who do you know to be Rahim Barr? This is where the trace coming in now when I'm telling you, say nothing will come from out of this whole thing. Bouaka formed a task force here to store everything. That's why he formed it for. That's why he took it from LDA and then decided to give it to a task force to store everything, because the DA will relinquish leadership and then they will now take charge. Justice Minister is perfecting that. And other members of the Joint Security are not showing their face there, right? We know what is the Joint Security, Joint Investigative Team. So the troubling part is they said that Front Page Africa Investigation found that the Lone Star number, let me read the Lone Star number to you people so that you can even try it now and either you sending money to A and see which one of the name you'll see there. The Lone Star number 08800 709 19. Let me read it again. 08800 79. Sorry. Let me read it again. 08800 70 919. I read it again. 08800 70 919. I read it for the third time. 0880 070 919. 0880 070 919. That's the number. They said when they want to go either they send mobile money to that number is registered in Marco, who told me that he didn't get anything inside that Marco Brown name, the number registered in. And now Rahim Barr, according to us, continuing to what Paul said. Paul says Rahim Barr called him. That number is registered in Marco Brown's name, throwing a monger wrench in the whole investigation and drawing more scrutiny on the call Paul says Barr made to him. The discovery suggests that Rahim Barr was the Finchman of Brown's imagination and really does not exist. That means Rahim Barr does not exist. There's no Rahim Barr, that ghost. And you know what the Rahim Barr means? That acronym, that. I want to say something, but I'll say, and I was this say, I don't care what it is, whatever you want to call me. These things are initials. The R stands for rescue. The B stands for Bouaka children. You see, they say Rahim Barr, right? They want to say rescue Bouaka children. That arrow B, the B that in the bag here stands for Bouaka. The arrow B that you see here, they say Rahim Barr. The arrow stands for rescue, and the B stands for Bouaka children. That didn't want to get a drug. You see, this country is an interesting country. For Rahim Barr to be a ghost, it must stand for something. The arrow here must stand for something, and the B here must stand for something, and then they just say Rahim Barr. And we know there are a lot of bars around Joseph Bouaka and his children. So some of them could happen. But there is no Rahim Barr. The number that was placed to Paul, according to Paul, is Marcus Brown. So Rahim Barr is a ghost. Telecommunication records revealed to Front Page Africa shows that the Lone Star number registered in Brown's name has several calls made to multiple employees at the RRA, including the man who told me that Brown called him. The number that really, my man told me, because I asked him before coming on the show, my man told me that the same number that called him, and Marco Brown called him that time. And Paul King is aware that a Marco Brown number. Paul King lying say that Rahim Barr, because I told you they were playing audio out there so that the people will know how to cover up. I told you they were releasing the audio then so that you will hear it, so that they will know how to cover up. Paul King knows that it is Marco Brown who called him and told him about it. But Paul King is lying and saying that Rahim Barr. I wonder you're getting the points here. Right? Now, what investigators are examining? While Paul told investigators that Rahim Barr placed a call to him, investigators are not sure, given the fact that the number is registered in Brown's name. Did Brown or an associate impersonate Barr? You'll follow that one there. Even investigators are baffled. We imagine investigators confused. They said when Paul, sat down with investigators following his return to Monrovia last week, Paul named Bar as a person behind the cocaine, which was delivered at his house. He said Bar carried it. Bar responded. I respectfully submit this report concerning a shipment arranged on behalf of Mr. Ryan Bar, which was later reported to authorities to contain a prohibited substance, Paul wrote. Paul also indicated to investigators that while coordinating shipment documentation and assisting customers with export arrangement, he does not conduct physical inspection of cargo. That means they didn't check inside to know what was there, right? So they can send it. Ironically, the RIA, like most airports, routinely makes public service announcements cautioning travelers against accepting packaging. Now, listen to this. This is the interesting part. Paul lied. Even if you are going to the airport, they get a BB speaker and will give that, then you will see the airport attendants or whatever it is, they announce us. They will be announcing to you, even any kind of airport you go to, say, if you don't know anybody and you don't know what in their son, don't just accept any stream package for anybody. Paul King knows that. Paul King knew that it is cocaine that they carry to his house. Paul King is lying. You as somebody dealing with export and thing, somebody will just tell you say carry the consignment, go ship it, and you don't know what is inside. Then you just go ship it. You just go ship it. So even the ordinary people who walk in to the airport or the traveling at the airport, they can be telling and say, if you see any strange thing or somebody give you a parcel, whatever it is, and you don't know what in it, don't take it, don't carry along, don't take it. They can be giving it to us. Oh, they can be giving it to us. Until when somebody brings something to me and traveling, I will say, open it, let me check inside what in there, wrap it right in front of me, let me see it. That I can be. Amen, my people. Amen, my people. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. What? So Paul King is lying. He's covering up. He even lied about Ryan Bar. Then the normal they go catch there, the Marco Brown. And then he's saying all of these things, right? They say, according to Paul, the shipment details were submitted via email and quotations and invoices were provided by normal course of business. The shipper was identified as Ryan Bar using telephone number, blah, 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 like one I call. On November 24, 2024, Mr. Bar again contacted our office requesting quotations for additional shipment. He was subsequently added to our business communication platform. Additional quotations were provided. The Ryan Bar. Then they also get another one. They say Front Page Africa investigation also found that a second number cited by Paul King during the investigation is registered to Evelyn Zuo, who is believed to be a friend of Emmanuel Kpa. Kpa, Front Page Africa land, is captured on the CCTV of UBA Bank making a deposit. The UBA Bank has reportedly turned over all of the CCTV footage to the Joint Security Team investigating the drug bust. Marco Kpa is also listed as person of interest, although it is unclear why some within the DA are raising concerns that the Joint Investigative Team may be taking their focus away from Kpa. You see that? The DA people again, they grab Kpa again. Then you see some of the people, the Justice Minister and their whole team on the other side that went there to go spoil everything. They're taking the people attention from Kpa, the LDA. Now, I say they took the whole thing here for the LDA just for stealing business. I'm not saying nothing again. I'm not saying anything again. The whole thing out here that's so blah, nothing inside. They just forget about it. They just forget about it. These people are rogues. So the LDA is concerned and linking people as per what it is that they are seeing. Then you get people on the Joint Investigative Team that tell you, no, that other man. That other man, you forget about that other investigation. You need that other man. You see what they are doing? People on the Joint Investigative Team, they are taking the LDA investigators off the whole thing. When they put one grandpa, they say, oh, you forget about why about Marco Brown? Can we get you need Marco Brown here? Let me be talking with Paul here. Let me be talking to Paul here. Can you imagine that? Let me read this part again so that you get it. Like Brown is also not listed as person of interest. Wow. That they say they call CCTV camera for it, and his wife, I don't know what Evelyn Zuo, whatever it is here and there, girlfriend to Yipa. Grandpa, why will bring Evelyn Zuo into the chin there? They said, no, we don't got to grandpa. Let Yipa. Papa was depositing money. He was depositing money he received from Bar. From the Marco Brown man. Paul was depositing money. So all the things they say Paul not a person of interest. Marco Brown who carried the consignment to Paul is not person of interest. Marco Brown, who went to go deposit money on behalf of Marco Brown, the barman, is not person of interest. Could you imagine that? Then when the DEA want to grab those people for them to bring them to focus, then they get people on the joint investigative team taking their attention off it. That's what Front Page Africa is saying. They said, right? They said what is more troubling for investigation is Paul's request for protection and a government decision not to treat his home, where the drugs were stashed as a crime scene. Paul is asking the government for protection. Protection for what? You're not blowing whistle. He said they must not treat a horse as a crime scene. That they play the drug or earth with a crime scene. They must not treat it like that. Government must protect him. And I really protecting him so. How they protecting all of them? They protecting Bar, they protecting Marco. So what thing will come from in this thing now? If people in the investigative team set up Abuaka, they are there to store the LDA from investigating and thinking, because if the LDA, let's take for instance, right? There's something we call amorphous power. Amorphous power is your authority that you have in specific areas, right? So people who have extensive controls, right? Extensive controls and so forth here and there. So if all of us were in the community, not even amorphous power, okay, so extensive control, that's your own area, you control the lead or whatever it is we get to you for this. But let's come to understanding where all of us we are in the community. And there's an issue about, we have a whole team. They put medical doctors, the police gonna put them together. And then all of us, we are sitting in a place, and then something happens, somebody fell off. Who do they go to? They go to the expert. The medical person will deal with that. Though we are a team working, right? So in the whole joint security, who's supposed to be the lead investigator in this whole thing? It's the LDA. It's the LDA. But they have taken everything from the LDA to the extent that Front Page Africa is reporting that they are trying to cover up for the people who are caught up. They say what is more troubling to the investigative team is what? Paul's request for protection and the government's decision not to treat his home. The government have decided not to treat his home as a crime scene. The government say they play the cocaine came from before he went to the airport and crime scene. When you hear Paul brother say, Peter King say, if they touch us, we'll bring everybody down. Everybody down, the government decided to put people. But I only formed that task force to cover up. Now I'm feeling knowing the reason why he took it from the LDA. Now I'm feeling understanding the reason why he took it from the LDA. And why the LDA boss is so mute on everything he told himself from inside. Now I understand. In Paul's own words, GOA had previously done business with the person who identified as Bar. To the best of my knowledge, no concerns and irregularities were reported to him regarding those shipments. Paul said in his own words, he said, oh, you see here? And seeing why here? Send 200 LD to Momo, blah, blah, blah. That the normal like king all that. So that normal again, you do it too, they see normal will come up. They said Paul explained to investigator that earlier this month, a shipment of June 5th, Mr. Ryan Bar contacted GOS. So all of these things, too many questions and so little answers according to Front Page Africa. Drug cartels do not operate in vacuums or silos. They penetrate several layers of economy and the country's bureaucracy. In order to do drug shipment to flow through a country, there must be active and implicit involvement of key personnel at ports of entries, especially custom officers. Cocaine comes in large consignments, often in containers mixed with other goods like frozen foods and bulk commodities. The cocaine route in South Africa, in West Africa, is mostly channeled through food distribution. And you see all of that. People got to store it. All of it in there. Money movement. All of it in there. Raiding in the U.S. Marshall Brown could lead to bigger fish. As Liberia and international stakeholders search for answers, the lack of urgency by authorities to rein in the likes of U.S. Marshal Marco Brown is worrisome. What's holding authorities back from finding him? Who are they trying to shield from the limelight of this issue that is threatening Liberia's political and economic survival? The startling reality is that Liberia appears to be on the receiving end of a crisis already crippling next door Sierra Leone, now harboring Dutch fugitive Jos Logicus, whose markets are becoming visibly by the day in Liberia. Brown may hold the key and answers to a lot of these questions, but many fear that something sinister may be keeping authorities from going to step further to bring this ugly saga to an end. That's it. So you're here for nothing. Let's get to the line and talk with you. Let me go. Go finish and you're already working there. Nothing there again. That's it. Nothing there again. Right by. I beg you, man. Nothing there again. Let's get to the lines and interact with you. I'll call us right here on this very day. I just gave up on the Unity Party. For people to be on the investigative team and store in the LDEA and say, no, don't call the other person, don't call the other person. We'll finish. Let's get to the lines and call to this caller. Hello, how are you doing? Hello?
Really?
Yeah, hello. Please go on. Let's listen to you.
Yeah, this is Oscar Zigben. I'm calling from Dupo Road. I'm resident. Monrovia.
Oscar, you're not coming here?
Yeah, entire David.
Okay. Go ahead.
David, I'll stay in. The first thing I want to say is that I want to send all oppositions leaders that attended our program into Nigeria. They show to all that the oppositions are getting serious to be united and see how best to be the Russian government down. And the second thing I have to do with the drugs issue. Maybe, during the administrations, people were on the street, all people bringing drugs in the country. Now, President Barker administration is exporting drugs from Liberia. And now they are not saying anything towards it. So I don't know what is the outcome of these drugs investigations. So I don't know if people are telling us that there are some key officials of government or some relative of the president are the one who was exporting the drugs. This is what up to now, I'm going to Mona, we cannot see nothing to happen in this country and we're not hearing nothing. So it baffles some of us. Because there's a country that we, the citizens, need to have information of all what is unfolding into the country. But Don was leaving the country and he got to the airport and the dog was transported in vehicles. Up to now, the vehicle had not been identified. And the person who took the dog at the airport had not been identified. So I don't know where are we heading to. So is this how country going to be wrong? We say no. We need better of this country. So all these things need to stop and see how best the country can reach people and we, the Liberian can live in peace. Because drugs is not good for our country. But for you to be exporting drugs for our country, I know you manufacturing the drugs in this country, or you trying to take it out of the country, or you begin the drugs into the country to be this country to be a drugs transport area is very bad.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, how are you doing? Let's get on. We have.
Yeah.
Good evening. Good evening. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, I'm A. Sacramento Dennis. I call Pinzil. Okay. I'm the chairman for the Voice of Nigeria. Let me firstly tell my brother and sister and our father and the elders in our country, thank you, because I'm very sad we're there. If you see some of the videos, you see me there. And I tell God, thank you that the program ended successfully because those witches and wizards then they went. They wanted to carry some team, but we know how to protect the area. And we tell God, thank you that it was successful. Because we install most of these guys. They say, oh, Joe, we are not count. Why you not count? Man, he say, why? He is a chairman on racism in a World Cup. So the man on a detail. So we are here. We even more than Joe. We are leave tomorrow. But CDC will stay. So thank you for making some. And the meeting that made me happy is the road issue that leave from Cantor to go to Sweden because they say, Joe, we are not doing nothing about it, but at least the information trickle down and we ourselves, we interpret it in our very dialect in our country. So thank you very much. The issue that has to do with the drugs. We said we will not get tired and I really tell you thank you and the other people thank you. Because the drug issue, it will get a lot in a day. It will damage. Oh, I told you the last time, my little brother left from here. He went to the UK. And that's small thing. They point in one side. The man went one side. They can set him from head to toe. Take out a close.
You said that.
He said, first of all,
all right, thank you so much. You said that. Thank you. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, Nisi, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Please go on. Let's
I'm Abraham Panese from online here.
Yeah.
The population came out as from a younger age up to the time who our government joy, it cannot begin less. So people like that, we can always call CMB. Yeah, because the government job only thing they can do to get money in their family. So once they get out where to do and then they laugh, they like when people say, oh, to the one, and that kind of pass. can go back, you can go empty. But I only means they can get way to survive. So our president King, we are to pray and you will come back to power. And nothing can stop it, only God. And God cannot stop it because God is the one that sent him to be in this country. It was not him eternally. A different thing we discussing because the people they are discondo. Yeah. So pray that everything will be settled for that just issue back that they want to be the trust in the country. The day you get back people be the power. And the day people begin to notice that Togo, they can have people to call Togo today in Labrador. But that is only brought war in this country, but they didn't know the cause, what didn't cause Togo. And my name for Togo, you can't choose a papa. So thank you for God bless.
All right, man. Thank you for your contribution. Let me get onto the WhatsApp line. Hello.
Hey, Teacher Light.
Yeah.
How are you? This is Abraham Yoyo.
Hey, Yoyo, let's hear from you.
And yes, I'm calling from Seoul this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, Teacher Light. I want to say thank you for the show again. And I would like to say thank you to the team who carried on that brilliant celebration in Kwenchide, making those people to cry wolf all over up to now and stay crying. Yeah, you know, CDC will always be strong. Nobody can stop it. I don't know why they're suffering themselves. But let me go to the issue. Teacher Light, you know, if you look at a man whose son is a just leader and make him president, what do you expect to happen in the country? A man whose son is a just leader and you make that man president, your country will get influenced with just. So that whole country will just be in serious problem all through Joseph Boakai tenure. Nothing will come from that whole just thing that people doing whatever because they know exactly who was transporting that just. Nobody was transporting that just. I'm saying this on the radio. It was Joseph Boakai children. That entire government, all the ministers, most of them know about that just thing. That's why you see up to now there is nothing happening. Have you ever seen such investigation before? Where there are people that are being named and they can be arrested? They are walking around freely. Have you seen any investigation like that before? Whether in Liberia or wherever, where you have seen that? People of suspect.
For the mayor father, the people making flower money are saying in the investigated DA and the other people that making flower, you must know something is wrong somewhere.
Thank you. You must know that something is. Yes, that is clear. So we shouldn't be wasting our time on anything, because this is just a complete waste of our time. The Liberian people refuse to listen to all, and today they're having it. Today they're having the result of what they voted for.
Right.
Yeah, Abby, so thank you for the show. And one thing again, Abby, I want to tell you, this is just a recommendation. You know, Abby, this show here is a very good show. You need to move the line, the dancing with the devil Joseph Boakai first from the whole thing that you can be playing from the beginning of the show. You know, when I listen to that thing, I can be hurting. No. Remove that. That man is a devil. Move that man first from that thing. Put Google people name first there.
The president, man. Let's get to the female line as well. Interact with them. We are setting it here. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your nephew, Mohammed A. Fofana from Kaweni, Georgia.
Yeah, Fofana. Let's hear from you, please.
You know, Uncle Ebi, thank you so much for the topic on the discussion. You know, let me tell you something about Joseph Numa Boakai. Joseph Numa Boakai, we been knowing Joseph Numa Boakai song, Tampan. When I was living in LT City, looking town, I was attending in Matthew. In 2010-11, Wale Ghani said, Queso, all of us were in Matthew there. Queso and Tantana, they went to have show. Setting one leg came from America. Every Friday, they went to have show, ready to, to open a small little club, before reaching to be that video club there. That the pay Tantana went to come. Now, today, someone will bend with Tantana. Tantan will bend with Tantana to be a best judge in this country. Even the time the mayor was not present. So we know that Tantan, all the job issues are, going around in the country, that Tantan is a part of Joseph Numa Boakai. So we're not getting no good information on what will make Liberian people to get up about the government. We're not getting Uncle Ebi. I want to lie to you. we need experience to you people to continue to give you information about our country.
Okay.
For Unity Party, they come for really poor people in this country to do something better for all.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Uncle.
Please go on quickly. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, my name is Tarek Thomas, calling from Johnsonville, a member of Concern for Justice.
Let's hear from you, ma'am. How's everything?
Yeah, I'm okay. You know, I'm very, very disappointed in this government concerning the just issue. And I said the last time, the just issue, we will keep talking about, I just looking at it like, we will not even get results. Who result from it? Because just from what you are reading tonight, it really hurts me. I really felt disappointed from that letter you were reading tonight. But we will not get tired. I saw Bakason. I think with one of the Liberian gospel musicians by the name of and that guy used to work in this factory here. So what you would expect? What can have people of interest are selling drugs because he's so in connection of drugs? So what you would expect? Everyone on there knows about their drug issues. So they just want all to be talking and we'll keep talking until we'll come to the final whistle. Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am, for your contribution. Appreciate that. Hello, how are you doing?
Yeah, good evening, Abby.
Yeah, let's hear from you, ma'am.
It's Sarah Bar calling from Johnsonville, Concern Librarian for Justice.
All right.
Abby, thank you very much. Abby, I want to use a minute to tell all the political parties that want to bring today in my home to tell them thank you. And so everyone on there. Hey, imagine they're not going to grant just because of CDC, but they are going to grant just because of Liberia, of the citizen we are suffering. So they're going to grant they are going to grant it makes them all happy, and we pray. When we pray with them, then God may they let you not that no one will get between them. As soon as they will move calamity over the nation here because we are suffering. They drop in it, as I said, they drop in it. Joseph Boakai is showing about the drop in it because it's showing that they don't want to bring the trust here. And the people that they supply the joint with and then New York calling so all they will cover up because if they will arrest the children and put them in jail, the children will call the children need. So for that reason, they will not arrest and they will protect them, they will be passing around. But let me tell you, a drug will use it to not a King Joseph Boakai. If you see that a drug will go on a captain, will not go on a captain. And I want to tell my someone thank you, Jesus for I want to tell you thank you for the last on the program here. That open thing that he don't want to grant you making more at time was since now go there, but was since he get there, the Sumutelo plus open or proliferate me all they run away from Grand Gillette. And they said they are men and women. When they stay there, they try to come to teach and send. I want to tell you, I said, open, you know how can you find a free Grand Gillette on Chancellor? You are in Arico, you are doing your criminal job, Pierre John was stealing all around here. And you won't stand out for your money when you think that you have one follow. Why not stay there? But God bless you, he said that because the point of come pity when you move from there, you really open more of the speak again. And tell to all of you that go crazy, let God bless them. Okay. Come to the now we'll say the council and for your power. Thank you very much
for your contribution. Hello, how are you doing? Yeah, hello, how are you doing?
Number, thank you. This is Edmond Carr, and I am the visually impaired, the pushing for the return of personal. We are the proud member of Concern Liberian for Justice. Okay. You know, and I was telling somebody today, I say, oh, some of you guys, they say, oh, wow, CDC strategies, what are they doing? We're not saying nothing. So this is just one of what we are doing from beyond the scene. And this one in Grand Gillette County was very, very timely, and that was very, very strategic. And let me say kudos to the National Executive Committee of CDC and the entire planning committee. You know, the chairman on the from the two on the president committee did very well. That was very excellent. Like you put it, the last time we saw opposition coming together, they were coming together to protest for George Weah to come down as president. But this one, we gathered the opposition together so that we can speak in one voice during our 22 years anniversary. And that was very excellent. And what that celebration has also done, they have been able, if not laid to rest, quote unquote, Waka is failing raw. Because the Unity Party people, they allow themselves to be used. When you talk about project, It comes with zero segment. When did you do the financing agreement? When did you sign it? When did you award a contract? Who signed it? Who signature there? This is a government that just left power 2 years and a half. So you think we will sit here and allow you that you refer to us that we were nobody, we were not capable of delivering, we were cheering our cheering government, they may know nothing. We come here, we struggle in the midst of coronavirus. We were able to initiate and start out of this project that you think that will sit here and take away the glory. So what we have said to them on that very platform, that it should be laid to rest now, and the facts remain that 2 years and a half, Boakai has not been able to attract a single project to Liberia. So he is dedicating his colleagues on, and he is not acknowledging them. Then he found something so that his colleagues will be able to dedicate when he leaves the scene tomorrow. So we just say thank to all of us, and we will keep pushing this. We are planning, we are strategizing, a unity party will have all to contest with. And for the drug issue, yeah, we will keep speaking out because there are all lot of strange things surrounding the whole drug thing. Even their own platform can want to cover it up, but there is no way that they can cover it because it is glaring. 19.2 million worth of cocaine leaving our country, going to another country. That is a big blow to this government. I don't care how they can fight. I don't care how they can cover it. They will not be able to survive this. Thank you, Ebi.
Thanks, Edmond. Let me get on to this one. Hello?
Yeah, but Ebi, I come on.
Fine, please go on.
Oh, yeah. But Ebi, thank you for your topic on our discussion. Let God bless you. Let God bless your family. But Ebi, this is Spanish Kadi 1 million reaction follower of Abraham Crossing William.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but Ebi, first of all, I want to commend all the political opposition, political leaders that praise the CDC anniversary. I want to tell them thank you for making us proud again and for making us and to be encouraged and mobilize our strength again.
All right.
Secondly, I want to go to the job issue. Well, Ebi, Joseph Boakai is just a waste of oxygen of the country. The party is not serious because today just have become, in fact, the people have become a rescue of just. They are not rescue of the country. They are a rescue of the just. Why are you people protecting people that are harming our country? You are protecting them. That kind of thing, like people, we are regretting. They are regretting today because when you brought hungry people to power, that kind of thing, that the kind of result you get. The papa doing everything to get money for himself and his children. Because why are you protecting the perpetrator? What are you protecting them for? Eh? You said that you came to rescue. You said that Joey was bringing justice in this country. But today, under your watch, you are exporting justice to another country. Today, we cannot find who brought justice in the country. But Ebi, nothing will happen out of that job.
All right, so we get over here. Thank you. Time is of essence. Thank you. Let me get on to the last column, perhaps. Then we'll close. That's on the dot. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Ebi.
Yeah.
Anyway, my name is Sensikia's role in a call from Lofa Kolaun district.
Okay.
Thank you for your show tonight. And let me comment on Musa Hassan Berete for him to go for our convention on all the opposition. But on Musa Berete come first because I supported on Berete for a representative based in District 7 Nima County.
Oh, okay.
So I was really happy for me to see on our program. Really, let me commend him for that. Let me say one thing, about AB. Well, AB, the government not going to achieve anything, or not going to achieve Liberia to go anywhere besides to bring Liberia down. Even I'm speaking to you right now in Lofa, or the company that laying the quota from Wasonga to start all the way to handle West Vonyama because they don't want staff on the page or we have stuff which is Zozo to come. I mean, which is they pay job here, so they don't want to stop there, so they want staff from Wasanga to come. A Uma Salunian. And the Salunian, they are paying our librarian, flair person. You are standing on your feet from in the morning until in the evening. You know how much they are decided to pay people? 2,500 librarians. That are why anybody in Lofaya that are doing their cocoa business, they ought to provide our money. So the government, it only come to loot and be just, and we know very well that the people that are being just in the country and other people were shaking the blame on President Weah because he was in power. But today, every day when I call on the radio, I will tell you, I tell God, thank you for President Weah to take part of Joseph Boakai, so we can know that evil behavior that in there, we can know everything about them in the country. So now we know that President Boakai will not be president he will not be president for any more in the country. Everybody don't know that all the weekends that are happening in the country that they were the cause and they were shipping to be on President Weah. Today, when you can't look for my brother, my own brother over there. When you can't look for people, they are yearning for President Weah. You know for what? When you go to that Bolo issue today, people then make their farm, they are abound their farm because of what? Because of Joseph Yuma Boakai. People then they get a banana push, they sort of call a banana and come bring it in for to sell it. Today they are being stopped by the Guinea soldier. They get a fear in there, they don't want to go in their farm anymore because when they go there, and then they can harm them. So when President Weah can come in Lofa, my brother, what you see in Grand Gile, it will be worse than the even Grand Gile. When President Weah can enter in fire today, fire will be also done. Because of one thing, when President Weah was in power, but still there, no Guinea soldier come from Guinea and cancel on our land. For another regime, the criminal regime that we call Joseph Yuma Boakai today, Guinea people say that our land they go a lot of people say, oh, everything is normal. What is normal? Nothing normal in Dubai, my brother, yet. And I'm the only 1 year project. Nothing normal in Dubai, in a Bola issue, that whole Bola issue, nothing normal here. Everybody say anything Allah. And what I'm saying here, it is true. So thank you for your show tonight.
Thanks.
It did well for us.
Thanks, boss, for your contribution, folks. This is all the time we've got tonight. Inside my spirit. And so we are very grateful to all of you. Thanks to all of you for your support you have given us over the period. You keep praying for us and with us as we continue to move on and on. So until we are back here, God's willing, with another edition of the show. My name is Brandon Gossett William, and I wish you a pleasant night. Bye-bye.
I don't have perfect sentences, just pain in my voice, but I still call your name even when I feel lost. Spending on your guitar has been an order, has been a structure. Still I believe you listen even in my fracture. When I fall apart, you don't walk away. Even my silence is something to say. Things rhyme wide, the sound of broken prayer.